Hello to all of you from around the world. I want to welcome you back to another great edition of Soulivity Today. We're broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and whether you're at home or driving or at work, we're always glad you're here with us. We have another amazing show today, but before I get to that, I want to introduce to you our favorite astrologer coach and Soulivity contributor, Sonja Francis. Hello, Sonja. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you, Brian?
I love that. I love that. Hello. How are you? I love that. Um,
I'm having a
you,
especially deep voice today because I'm not feeling so great.
I know everyone. Sonja is getting over the flu, so thank you for being here, sweet. We're going to be sending you all types of loving energy to get
Thank
healed.
you.
When did it come on? I
Thank
mean,
you.
there's been actually this has been going around here in the United States. I mean, there's like there. I know the CDC is kind of like telling people go get vaccinated because it's really bad this year.
Yeah, I started on Sunday and it's just not been much better since then. So, but it is what it is.
Well, you sound great. And we're glad you're here. We have a very special show today for our Friday. There is a lot going on in the world, especially the new year is almost upon us. We've only got a few more days to get to it, and to help you prepare for the new year, Sonja, you have an amazing astrology forecast for 2024. And there's a lot of information here that you want to share. So with our audience, you want to get some pen and paper to write some of these things down immediately. But remember, you can always come back to our YouTube channel or podcast, your podcast provider, because Soulivity Today is on most podcast providers like Spotify and other things. So you can listen to it later. Sonja, this one, we were kind of talking about this offline before we got started the show today. But this first forecast piece that you want to share is really important because you were saying that it's going to be going on for a long time. And
Yes.
so I'm going to hand it over to you so you can talk about this first forecast, which is Pluto is something going into Aquarius or something like
Aquarius.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pluto will be moving into Aquarius next year. And yeah, we've been experiencing this year already for a little bit. And we're going to be having the second phase of that in 2024, and it will last until January 2044 altogether. So this is a
Wow.
very big shift that we're all experiencing, and this shift is really about where we need to empower ourselves and where we need to focus over the next 20 years to bring more of a global empowerment to all of us, the people,
Wow.
um, communities, um, and also, Pluto is very much about extremes. Sometimes with Pluto, we need to go into the depth of the unconscious, and we need to
Right.
dig out what's toxic and what's not working in our lives, what's keeping us um, less than alive, so that we can understand what's going on, so we can move more into a place of passion and feeling alive. And when Pluto moves into Aquarius, we're being invited to really tap into the collective and really empower ourselves through collaboration, through helping each other, being there for each other, connecting with like-minded people, and empowering each other in our communities. And so social programs, for example, are going to be very important over the next 20 years. Scientific and technical discoveries will be really big, because Aquarius is very much about technology and science. Um, and then, of course, Aquarius is also a little bit rebellious. So there is sort of like with Pluto in Capricorn, which we've had for the past 15 years, um, it was very much about hierarchy and governments and authority figures, and about being able to do what's best in terms of like the old, like how can we take what's good about the old, or the traditional things, or the patriarchy, that we can continue, and what needs to be taken out, and what needs to be transformed about that, right?
Hmm.
And now with Aquarius, it's very much about the we need to look at the new. We need to look at outdated systems. We need to look at systems that are no longer supporting the collective, that are no longer supporting a majority of people. And so we're really looking at the future with Aquarius, right? We're looking at human potential. And so we're looking to maximize human potential as best as we can.
Wow.
And so this, yeah, sorry. Did you want to say something, Brian?
No, I was just kind of like taking this all in, that it's so like, um, it seems like this is a time where, you know, let's say you've been working in a job your entire life, and you've had the feeling that you want to move into being an entrepreneur, right? Maybe now is the time to really take that more seriously, because the energy will be there. I'm just thinking about like the applications of what this time means in people's lives, in terms of like some of the decisions that they need to make. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that people need to be very conscious of where they put their energy and their focus.
Hmm.
It's really important to know, like, where, in terms of data and information, and in terms of like what we take in, and who we connect with, the groups of people, or the affiliations that we have in the world. We need to be really conscious about, are these things empowering to us, or are they disempowering to us?
Um,
And in
mm,
particular, if you're like a Scorpio, for example, right? Because Pluto is the planet that rules Scorpio. If you're a Scorpio, you definitely have to be very conscious of that for yourself. Where do you take your power from? You know, what communities, what people, what data, what information. Um, if you are if you were born in the beginning of Aquarius, like January born Aquarius, or if you're born July born Leo, or April born Taurus, or October born Scorpio, then you definitely will feel the impact of this transit in 2024 to a great degree. So these are the people that need
wow.
to be very conscious of how do they channel their energy, and where do they take their empowerment from. So if we're engaging with life, right, we need to be
Mm-hmm.
conscious, like what 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 gives us life, what gives us more life energy, and what doesn't, right? And wherever you focus your
Wow.
energy, that will give you either more or less. And so if you can pay attention to that, especially if you're one of those signs, that's going to be very important.
Wow. Okay. So I guess, um I was watching something recently where Oprah Winfrey was answering the question about like manifestation, like what was one of the most important things for her to learn in terms of manifesting those things that she wanted. And her first response, without any hesitation, was, you have to know what you want, right? And I translate what you're telling me
Hmm.
and telling our audience around maybe the first step in maximizing this time period is to first, like you were talking about, like Scorpios and
Mm-hmm.
other signs that really relate to Pluto, that one of those things is, what are those types of situations with people, right? In terms of communing with people that really gives you energy, right? And really is fulfilling. Define that and then start focusing your energy on that and not what's not working. Is that, am I getting it? Am I starting to get what you're saying around,
Yeah,
I mean, in part, yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I mean, Oprah, of course, is an Aquarius, so she knows how to focus her mind pretty
right,
strongly on
right,
things, right? What she wants. Yeah, I mean, I think Aquarius is actually a mind. It's an air sign. It's a mind sign. So where we put our mind to, whatever visions we have for the future, whatever we look for, you know, if we're doing this consciously, right? And Oprah is very good at manifesting in a very conscious way, because she will envision where she's going and then she goes there, right? um,
right,
a lot of people that are not aware of their own powers will manifest things by default, which means that they don't use their powers consciously. So they will just unconsciously focus on things that they don't even know that they're focusing on. And then they will
right,
manifest those things. But if we
right,
really can consciously focus on the things that we want, then we can definitely, we can become very wealthy and we can become very powerful.
right.
Yeah, and that's Oprah, right?
Right, exactly, exactly. So again, there's a lot of things happening around how we're communing with people and the people that are in our lives, and that we need to be really conscious of that. Um, this is a time in terms of building like cooperation with others,
Yes,
and with our words, but also with
yes,
our ideas and thoughts.
yes,
And that in terms of like, I'm happy about this because this is also a time around a transformative technology, like things that we're using right now to
yes.
to do things and communicate with other people around the world. So maybe this is also another powerful time for us here at Soulivity as well. So
Oh, yes.
I'm
Oh,
really
it's going to
excited
be
about this.
exciting. I'm very excited about it. The next 20 years, we're going to see so much progress with technology and with science and with things that we haven't even probably dreamed about yet. I mean, because Aquarius it rules the air, right? So the air
Right,
waves. And so
right.
my prediction is flying cars are going to be here sooner than we think. And I
Okay.
think that
Okay.
there's definitely going to be a lot of inventions that we can't even think of right now, that that are already probably in progress somewhere in the background, but nobody's talking about them yet because they haven't been fully developed yet. But definitely the other thing with Pluto too is it's not all positive, right? We have to remember Pluto can
Of
also be,
course.
it's black and white a little bit. So it can be some of the darker sides of Pluto can be pollution, right? So like air pollution,
Mm,
for example. We might be
okay.
focused very much on air pollution and how to fix air pollution.
Right. Right.
Um, we might really become very invested on like how do we connect to fresh air and what does fresh air mean,
Right. Right.
and
Right.
what's toxic out there in the world, and how can we
Mm-hmm.
fix that toxicity.
Right.
um, and then there could be some manipulative behavior as well with Pluto and Aquarius around ideas or data, or how we're connecting with people. So we always want to pay attention to how we engage with people, right? Like, do you
Okay.
come from an open heart, or do you come from a place of fear? That's very important to check ourselves with Pluto, because Pluto, if we come from fear, we will do manipulative things, we will do things that are destructive.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
if we
Mm-hmm.
keep an open heart and we want to actually empower ourselves and other people, then we usually go towards the higher vibrations of that energy.
Wow. Wow. Wow, this is so good. Oh man, listen, we're going to take a quick break, everybody. We've got three more forecasts for 2024 coming up with Sonia. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with another important forecast just for you. We'll be right back. Hi there, this is Brian with Soulivity.com. I want to share some exciting news about our new Aspire Academy by Soulivity. Now, you probably want to know what the Aspire Academy by Soulivity is. Well, it exclusively connects you with people around the globe and who share the intense desire to improve themselves and create a better life for themselves today. There's classes, there's workshops, there's live events, and even more exclusively just for you. You see, I wanted you to have a safe space where you could grow, you can learn, and it would empower you in all aspects of your life, including your mind, your body, and your soul. So, how do you get started? Well, it is so easy. First of all, the best part, joining Aspire Academy is absolutely free. Just click on the Join Now button, sign up, and begin your journey. As a special part of this invitation to you, there are some free courses that are available for you to try from our amazing roster of coaches and collaborators. It's our way of saying thank you for all of your support and being with us along our journey of expansion. I hope you enjoyed the Aspire Academy by Soulivity today. Start the process. Learn more about your passion, your purpose, and how to live a higher quality life. Hey, we are back with more of Soulivity today. Just want to remind you that there are a lot of free courses at our Aspire Academy by Soulivity, things on happiness and even a great thing on journaling. Just go to aspire.soulivity.com, sign up, and you are good to go. You can also commune with a lot of other great people that are there that are trying to create better lives for themselves as well. Listen, we are spending an hour with astrologer coach Sonja Francis as she gives us the New Year's readings and forecasts for 2024. And Sonja, you've got another important forecast for us. Why don't you tell us about this next one?
Yes. So the second thing I'd like to talk about today is the Jupiter-Uranus alignment in Taurus, which will be exact on April 20th. And we will be feeling that from March 20th until May 25th. And basically, what that means is that when these two giant outer planets come together, they're
Mhm.
really creating a huge energy for innovation and reforming either our finances or reforming something in our lives that we need, where we need to feel more freedom around. So freedom is really paramount there. And, Jupiter loves freedom, Uranus loves freedom. So the two of them together, it's really about, creating something in our lives where we can free ourselves of old things that have kept us stuck for a while, right? So this is a real
Mhm.
opportunity. If you've been feeling stuck at all with anything in your life where you were like, I'm stuck with financially with stuff, or I feel stuck, in my life where I live or my home, or I feel stuck with a relationship or something in your life, a job or, health crisis or whatever, use these 2 months to really shift something for yourself on a
Okay.
physical level, right? Because this is in Taurus. So it's really about the physical plane. Where is your body at? Where are your finances at? Where is your physical connection to life, to the planet? And
Wow.
Jupiter always wants us to sort of take a new perspective as well, right? So maybe looking at the bigger picture and looking to see, like, how can I see this from a different angle, from a different way, maybe learn something about that you want to shift, learn something
Hmm.
new and see if you can shift from just having a new way of looking at something.
Hmm. It's funny because this is really really resonating with me. I want to make sure I complete my thought. Um, Sagittarius, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, right?
Yes, I was just going to say the signs that are most impacted
Woo,
by
woo,
this
woo,
Jupiter Uranus alignment is going to be Sagittarius, because
woo, woo.
Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter.
I guess
Aquarius,
everybody, I
because
guess everybody guessed I'm a Sagittarius.
yes, yes, we know. Then Aquarius, because Uranus rules Aquarius. And then, of course, Taurus and Scorpio as well, because it will take place in Taurus. And then Scorpio is exactly opposite that. So the sign opposite will be impacted by that as well. So yeah,
Wow.
there's some big changes that you have an opportunity to. And again, with these things, you have to remember, right? It's an opportunity to create changes. It doesn't mean that you're gonna get done for you, right? But
Right,
the energy
right.
field, the energy field is there for you to take the actions and to make the adjustments if you want to.
I'm glad that you said that around, this is all still free will also is included in all of this, right? You can
Yes,
choose to act or
absolutely,
not choose to act, right? Um,
absolutely.
and 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 staying still and not doing quote unquote anything is a decision amongst itself. Doesn't mean it's the wrong
Yes,
decision, but um my guess is that that one thing that you would probably tell people is, listen, throughout all this, continue your meditations, doing your meditations on a regular basis. Really stay in tune with what your spirit and soul is telling you to do during these times. Um,
yes.
Even if it's
Absolutely. I would even
do
say,
nothing.
like, listen to your body, right?
Yes.
Since Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus right now, Taurus is connected to our physical body, right? So really tune into your body and do like a body scan,
Yeah.
like just see, what does your body need, like where you're at. Do you feel agitated? Do you feel nervous? Because feelings, they're located in the body, right?
Hmm.
Feelings and sensations are located in our body. So um being able to scan our body every day and to just say, okay, where am I at today, can be very powerful, because it can tell you, what actions you need to take, or what else is needed for you that day, that particular day, right?
Since this is a time that is really deals with things on the physical plane,
Yes.
should we also, like, let's say if you're considering buying a new home or buying a new car or something like this, would this be a good time to do that, or is it more about just doing those things to set you up to be able to do that at some future date, or is it both?
um it could be both. So
Okay.
I would say this: it depends. So if you are itching to free yourself of an old home that you absolutely don't like anymore, that you've outlived, outdated, like it's a place that's you've outgrown, it's too small, or whatever it might be, when Jupiter hits Uranus, you're going to be like, I'm ready to upgrade, right? I'm ready to go to that next level, get myself that new home. Absolutely. But it could also be for someone who who is dealing with um, other issues, like they have to get their own finances into a good place, for example, right? They might have to start in a very different place. They might want to upgrade, but they can't, right? So if you can't
Right.
upgrade, then you might want to start with a seed of, like, what's the one step I can take today that can support me in making that upgrade, you know, a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from
Right.
now. So it can be both, depending on where you're
Okay.
at currently in your physical reality.
Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. And so this is like a great time to really consider those things that you want to manifest and what do you need to do to get there. Either if you're ready for it, maybe take the leap. Um, if
Yeah.
you're not, take the leap into setting yourself up for the leap sometime later, even in that year, right? Or the next year. But
Yeah.
this time will kind of supercharge all that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there might be some unpredictable energies around whenever there's a
Right.
Uranus transit, whenever Uranus is involved, there could be some unpredictability. So what's best is to, again, not listen to what goes on outside of you, but to really stay grounded in your own body and stay grounded
Hmm.
in your own knowing, let the universe speak to you, rather than trying to get too freaked out by what the world is doing, right? That's the thing that we always have to watch out for, right? We get too freaked out or too involved too quickly in what the world is up to, and not
Absolutely.
enough. We don't spend enough time on really tuning in and paying attention to what we ourselves are, experiencing in the now moment, right? Our direct
Wow.
experience.
Wow. I'm loving all this. I think all of this is so important. And I see like certain connections between the first forecast around Pluto being in Aquarius and then this happening
Yes. Thanks
in
for
the
bringing that up.
basically,
Yes,
yeah, and this happening
there is
even
a
in
connection.
the, yeah, um um
May I say something real
what,
quick?
yeah, why don't you
I'm
talk a
sorry
little
to
bit about
interrupt.
that? No, why don't you
Yeah, I
talk
wanted
about
to
that a
just
little
say
bit?
that the Pluto in Aquarius answers to Uranus, because Uranus rules Aquarius. So
Okay.
Pluto will, while as it's moving into Aquarius in January, it will answer to Uranus in Taurus. So until Uranus is in Taurus, we're going to need to ground our ideas in reality, and we need to make things real, right? So we cannot become too lofty, right? Not too lofty about our thoughts, our data, our ideas, our connections with other people. It has to be real, right? Because Uranus is still in Taurus until 2025. So once Uranus moves into the next sign in 2025, it goes into Gemini, then things will start to move a little bit more into a lofty place, a little bit more into a um, intellectual place, and a little bit more into an idea place. But that's we can talk about that next year, the next year's forecast.
Exactly, because we're going to help you guys. We're going to help everyone kind
Yeah,
of move through these different periods that are like
yeah,
really important. Um,
absolutely.
there's
Yeah,
another great piece to all this that also involves Jupiter, uh,
yes,
but it's happening later on in the year, and it's Jupiter moving into Gemini. So wow, I mean, there's a
that's
lot of
correct.
stuff happening
Hmm.
around all these interconnected planets and signs. Talk a little bit about
Yeah.
this.
So Jupiter changes signs once a year. So every year it will move into a new sign. Jupiter's all about perspective and us learning about life, and in particular our direct experience of life. So
Mhm.
Jupiter moves through the signs pretty quickly because it wants to experience as much as possible. So it has sort of like a 12-year cycle. And with Jupiter in Gemini from May 25th until June 10th of next year, 2025, um, we will be asked to engage more in things to do with writing and words and talking and sharing, and having plenty of information is key. Making sure that we explore the meaning of the words that we are what meaning are we giving to our words, and why are we giving them those meanings, and what do our words really um, how do they how do our words guide us in life, like how are
Mhm.
they how are they meaningful to other people? How are they meaningful to ourselves? So it's basically just exploring things on a more intellectual level, um,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
learning a lot. With Jupiter and Gemini, we really want to learn as much as possible. We want to gather as much information as we can. That's really what Jupiter and Gemini is all about.
Wow. You know, as I'm thinking about this, again, the community kind of aspect of all this and us communing with each other and how we're talking to each other is so, so, so important. Am I right about this?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And Jupiter also has to do with our social conditioning, right? So we're getting to see like what's our social conditioning around words. What is our social conditioning around how we share ourselves? And uh, there's 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 a lot. We've already experienced a little bit about you know how we need to be careful with the words that we use around certain
Right.
groups of people.
Right.
When Saturn moves through Aquarius, or um, when we had Jupiter moving through Aquarius, for example, we were experiencing some of that as already. And so this will be a little bit more flexible because we're going to be a little bit more curious. Gemini is a very curious sign, so we're eager to learn. We're eager to be more open-minded, right? And to just sort of like explore
Right.
things from different
Right.
angles.
Right.
And
Right.
of course, the
Wow.
signs impacted the most by this is Sagittarius, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So that will be you. You'll be talking a lot. Um,
Well,
and
you know,
Gemini.
yeah, it's funny that you say that because at the end of, well, going to the end of this year,
Yes.
we are rolling out this. Well, we made a decision as a platform to talk more about health equity and bringing good into the world by talking about health outcomes and having all these great conversations.
Mm.
And everything that you're saying, I wasn't even going to talk about it, but I was like, well, hey, why not talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
Everything that you're talking about resonates in what we plan to do in 2024, where it
Perfect.
has to do with bringing people together that are all trying to do good and have those conversations with each other and
So
bring about change, bring about some things, and use technology to do it. You know,
perfect. June 2nd is going to be a very powerful day this year for that,
okay,
because Jupiter will make a trine to Pluto in Gemini
okay,
Aquarius. So June 2nd, for anybody who wants to bring people together, wants to have a great conversation about something, or who wants to create new content or new thought forms or new, I don't know, information or something, June 2nd is that time, around that time, not just that day, but around that time will be very powerful.
wow, okay, okay. I'm writing that
If
down.
you want to
Maybe,
launch
maybe,
anything, if you want
yeah,
to
I was gonna
launch
say maybe
anything,
that's gonna
June
be
2nd is a great day to do that.
maybe maybe that'll be a day we do something. June
Yeah,
2nd. So I'm going to put
yeah,
that. I just wrote that down.
yeah,
Um, um,
yeah. Write it
for a
down.
great, all right. Well, thank you, Sonia.
Yeah, you're
Listen,
welcome.
we're gonna take another quick break. We've
Great.
got more. We got one more great forecast to come. So stay there, and we'll be right back in a couple of minutes. all of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey, we're back with more here on Soulivity today. Just want to remind everyone that these Satana skin and hair care products are absolutely natural and cruelty-free, and you can find them all at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com. Listen, we have been spending the hour with astrologer coach Sonja Francis as we talk about the 2024 forecast for the astrology 2024 forecast for the new year. Lot to talk about, Sonia. This last one has different segments because it's all about the eclipses that are going to be happening in
Yes.
2024. Let's talk about this.
Yes, let's talk about the eclipses. So every year has eclipses. That's just how it is. The sun and the moon and the earth align in such a way that an eclipse occurs. And sometimes you can see the eclipse with your naked eye, and sometimes you can't, depending on where you live on the planet. But the impact an eclipse has, energetically speaking, is still there, even if you can't see it with the naked eye. Now,
Okay.
the
Okay.
eclipses in 2024 are going to be mostly in the Aries Libra polarity.
Okay.
There will be the first eclipse, will be a lunar eclipse on March 25th. And that eclipse is going to be a very powerful eclipse about healing. We really
Wow.
need to
Okay.
heal our own identity, and we need to heal the connection to the masculine energy, the wounded masculine inside of us.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is a process that we've been undergoing since 2019, 2019. And because it's now part of an eclipse, this is going to be a really big deal on March 25th, because it will really help us to see, that it's okay to be very masculine but cry, for example. It's okay to have ailments, or to not be perfect, to maybe not be able to do everything perfectly with our bodies, but still be able to have agency and be out there in the world and do what, like the Olympics for people who have ailments, right? What would you call that? The Special Olympics?
Right.
Is that what you call them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that type of thing has to do with the wounded masculine, right? And we're getting a chance to, individually speaking, we're getting a chance to really get in touch with what is it about ourselves that we feel insecure about, or that we feel kind of uncomfortable with, where in our own masculine drives, to achieve or to go after something, do we feel that we're lacking, or that we're not able to do what we want to be doing, right? And so
Okay.
this will give us a chance to be gentle with ourselves, to really bring a sense of compassion and care and understanding to the parts of ourselves that feel wounded, or that feel insecure or sensitive about things. And this is going to be very important. And this is something that, you know, I've been watching some videos lately on Twitter and on YouTube, where, you know, you just see things like people really trying to help other people, you know, with something that they're not good at, or you know, they're trying to make the day better for somebody else, or even for an animal or whatever, you know.
Right.
And
Right.
it really shows the masculine energy as a force of compassion, right? And that's really what this eclipse is all about. It's for us to learn that, you know, our masculine energy can be a force of compassion and healing and um, open open-mindedness and open-heartedness.
I love that.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, so
And this is
that's
and
a
this
pretty
is and this is like the first. These are the first eclipses. This is March 25th and April 8th, because both of those are in Aries, right?
yes. So March 25th is going to be in Libra Aries. It's going
Okay.
to be the lunar eclipse in Libra, and then the
Okay.
April 8th eclipse will be in Aries. That one will be just in Aries. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so basically those first two will be very much about our healing journey. And then
Okay.
the October 2nd eclipse, that will be a solar
Okay.
eclipse, that will be in Libra.
Okay.
Um, and that one will be all about balance and relationships. Um, and then there will be, and so these three eclipses have the most impact on
Okay.
people who are Aries, Libra, Capricorn, or Cancer. So if
Okay.
you're any of
Okay.
those signs, then you'll be most impacted by these eclipses this coming year. And these times, by the way, March 25th, April 8th, and October 2nd, these are times where we need to evolve on an individual level and on a collective level, and move to the next level of our evolution. So it's really it's a very potent time for evolving.
Right.
And then
Right.
the first eclipse that will be in a new polarity next year
Mm-hmm.
will be the lunar eclipse on September 17th, and that will be in
Mm.
Pisces Virgo. And so
Okay.
obviously
Okay.
the signs impacted by that eclipse will be Pisces Virgo, and then Gemini Sagittarius as well, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be the first eclipse of a new cycle on
Hmm.
September 17th. So that will start a new cycle. And eclipses usually have like an 18-month to 22-month cycle. So it's usually a year and a half to 2 years where we experience these eclipses in those signs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that will be September 17th, we'll start that new cycle.
You know, as I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about the fact that 2024 here in the United States is a presidential election year. I know you can't make predictions in any of that,
Yes.
but
Yes.
the fact that that all of this whole new year is about people communicating with each other, and words and
Yes.
ideas, and you know,
Yes.
us deciding what kind of people that we want to be and what kind of world we want to live in. I mean, all those
Yes.
things are so vitally important as
Yes.
we move through to making a big decision about the next 4 years of who's going to be in that
Yes.
role. And so I just, again,
Yes.
there are no coincidences, right?
Yeah.
That this is
Well,
happening now, right?
yeah. I mean, one thing I would say about the presidential election is it will be in November, in the beginning of November. And unfortunately, Pluto will very briefly move back into Capricorn in the beginning of
Okay.
November. So I would say make your decision about who you want to vote by September 1st, because otherwise
Oh,
you might vote somebody in who you don't want to be there for the next 4 years, you know.
huh.
So I would say people
Interesting.
should make up their minds over the summer,
Okay.
not last minute.
Okay.
And also, I think whoever the person is that gets voted in, you know, they might change their tune as soon as they've been voted in too, because they're being voted in in November with Pluto in Capricorn, but then Pluto moves into Aquarius November 19th. So
Okay.
things might change soon after. So who knows? You know, it's very difficult to make these predictions. I think
Oh,
it
of
also really
course.
depends on who's running, who's going to be end up,
Right.
who will be
Right.
running in the end. I think we're still not completely sure about that. So
Hmm.
um, you can usually look at people's charts once you have the candidates, the very last candidates, and you can see who has the best transits at the time of the election, and that usually tells you a lot. But again, it's difficult to make these predictions.
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, the universe is a fluid place. Things do
Yes,
change, and they can change
yes,
rapidly. It is okay.
yes.
It's not like, oh, we're living in a world and in a universe where nothing is constant. That's not the case. There are other
No,
constants that are there. Um,
absolutely.
but that this gives us all a glimpse into like decision making when the universe and the planets and everything is aligned to help support us do that. So again, you said
And we
like
also have to
around,
remember,
yeah,
that the universe always wants to renew itself to get to the next place, to get to a better
right,
place, right?
right,
So if we
right,
think about energy always wants to move to a better place, then no matter what we do, we're always going to end up eventually in a
right,
better place, right? So
right,
even if we make little detours here or there, even if we feel
right,
like things are moving backwards, they really aren't. It's just that uh, the last 15 years with Pluto in Capricorn, we've had to dig up some pretty deep stuff around our patriarchal background and society,
right,
and we had to really look at these things, and that was not that pleasant to look at. But
right,
it needed to happen because we cannot move to the future and we cannot move to the next place without it. So, in order for Pluto in Aquarius to take place, we had to do Pluto in Capricorn. And that was a pretty dense, pretty heavy, pretty, difficult, challenging place for us to move through on a collective level. But we did
right.
it, and we're
Yeah,
almost done with it, and
yeah.
we're now moving into what you could call the Aquarian age, you could say, right, with Pluto moving into Aquarius.
Aquarius, Aquarius. See,
That's
everybody knows
right.
I'm a
That's
music.
right.
Um, you know, if
Beautiful.
and how does really, really quickly? I know we've got. I want to
Yeah.
get some shameless plugs in here. A couple of years ago, when you were on one of our old shows, Soulivity Live, with me and D'Angelo, you talked about
Yeah.
this long cycle of where the planets were going to go into a certain alignment that was going to last for at least the next 600 or 700 years. Is this how all the things that you talked about 2024, this all relates to that as well, right? Where we're going through a sense of change and renewal, because that's the process of the universe. The universe is always trying to renew for our best and highest good, right? We're always
Yes.
spiraling upward, right, per se. Can
Yes.
you talk a little
Yes,
bit about
exactly.
that?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, the universe always wants us to move to the next level, and the planets, as they align right now, they've been very much in the last 15 years. We've been in a much more denser place planetary wise, because it
Right.
was more in the earth signs, right? It was focused on
Hmm.
the earth signs. And we're now transitioning more into the air signs, and the air
Okay.
signs are much more
Well,
capable of flexibility and manifestation from a very different place. But in order to go to that place, we first need to conquer the physical, right? The
right,
physical has
right,
to be something that we have to have a healthy foundation with, because if you
right,
don't have a healthy foundation on the physical level, how can you go to the next level, right?
right,
And so
right.
basically, for those of us who've been doing the work the last 15 years, we've been putting in the work, right? We've been putting in the
Right.
sweat, the hot, we've been
Yeah.
putting in the sweat into building something solid, building some physical structures or
Mm-hmm.
some structures in our lives that we now can build on as we move forward, right? And so the next phase now will be, how can we expand and make these structures into something way bigger than just
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah. I
So
love that.
so yeah,
I love it.
it's it's a road. We're just all yep.
Well, listen, I know that our audience out there, there'll probably be a few people that are going to need some extra support to navigate this. You have a beautiful
Hmm.
website where people can go to at astrologercoach.com, where they can
Yes.
align themselves with the creative power of the universe. I know we're running out of time, but really quickly, people can
Yeah.
go here. They can sign up for your mailing list, and they can also sign up for a special
Yep.
membership as well. Correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's two things you can do. Either just put yourself on my mailing list and you'll receive a newsletter once or twice a month about what's going on in the world with astrology. And if you want to be more involved, if you're more curious about, the day to day, then you
Mm-hmm.
can sign up for a monthly membership. And the first
Okay.
month is for free right now. So that's something that you can explore and just see if this is for you. And if it's not for you, you can cancel it at any time. And yeah, you can do that via where it says membership on the top of the webinar, top of the website.
Wow,
And
this
yeah,
is great.
the yeah.
This is so wonderful. Well,
So
listen. I know there's so much we can talk about. We're running out of
I
time.
know, I
But
know.
listen, we're going to be doing this every month with
Yes,
Sonja, with you.
yes.
We're going to be talking more in detail about everything that we talked about today on our next show, especially in January. We'll be talking more about that. Sonja, thank you for being here, and
You're so
supporting
welcome.
us
Thanks
in
for
all
having me.
this.
Yeah,
Listen, and
my
thanks to
pleasure.
all of you. Yeah, thanks to all of you for being here for another Soulivity today. This is how we do it Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, or you can listen to us on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. Listen, we got to get out of here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its